Hey everybody, it's 8 p.m. on a Monday night, so tuned into Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host. Tonight I have with me two special guests, and they come from the newly formed but old Super League, but it's a new form concept, and they would explain it to you guys. And let me take time to introduce them. I've got Keith Lucloy, who is the interim president of the Super League. Welcome to the set, Keith.
Thank you very much again.
Glad to have you, bud. And with Keith, I've got Kumara David, and Kumara is the league secretary.
Thanks for having me on the
Welcome
show,
to the set.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So, guys, relax. Let's have a barbershop discussion on the Super League and how we intend to run this and how big we're going to blow this thing up. Keith, first I want you to explain to my viewers what the Super League is about, because when I read the newspaper abroad in the earlier days, I used to realize that I was confused. I was confused because when they talk about the Army beating so-and-so and the Army losing to so-and-so, I'm like, I thought the Army played for yesterday. So there's a Super League and there's a professional league, so we need to establish the difference. So
Right. Well, you're right, Steve. The professional league, which has been in existence, 14, 15 years now, is the top tier of local football, in which the Defence Force plays, Point Civic plays, etc. A 10-team league. And below that is the Super League. That also has been in existence now for about 15 years, or was, I should say, until December 31st last year. And it was run under a franchise held by All Sport Promotions, headed by Tony Harford. And that league was really not a league per se, but a competition, like the FA Cup, like the Champion of Champions, run by the TTFA, or owned by the TTFA. As I said, it was run under a franchise. And this league had, last season, 24 teams drawn from communities across the country, including Tobago, 3 teams in Tobago. At the end of the year, and I say we because I am president of FC Santa Rosa, which was champion of the last National Super League season, we decided we would form our own league. We wanted to run our own affairs like the TT Pro League does. And therefore, we formed a constitution, we formed a company, Trinidad and Tobago Super League Limited. We hired a secretary for the league, and we set up the internal institutions to run business. And then we applied to the TTFA for membership on the 8th of January of this year, 2017. After much to-ing and fro-ing, eventually last Wednesday, that was the 3rd of May, we had a meeting with the TTFA in which they accepted that we should run our own affairs, that we would constitute a league, and now we have to go through some constitutional changes or changes of the constitution, the TTFA constitution, to reflect the name that we have adopted, the Trinidad and Tobago Super League, not National Super League, which is a minor change really, but a more important change, which is one that would give us a voice in the board of the TTFA. And we expect that to be done in short order within the next month.
Right. And Kumara, your job in this whole thing is what?
Well, as Keith said, the clubs themselves, they now have their own league to take care of, basically. So they hired me as the league secretary to handle all the administrative and the management of the league itself. So setting up like player registrations, making sure venues and check, doing the financing of the whole league itself. Yeah, that's basically.
And I know you've been doing that for a while, right?
Well, before I used to run the Women's Premier League in Trinidad and Tobago, so I would have been doing some of that then, and in terms of like the finances, for instance, I just graduated last year from master's degree, so it would have entailed some of that and bring it over into the real life.
Okay. So Keith, now we got we had some issues. We didn't have a smooth, easy road.
Correct.
Getting why?
Correct. Well, as I said, we submitted our application we formed on the 13th of December last year, 16, and we applied on the 8th of January, 17 this year. And then we went into a long series of meetings and exchanges of emails and so on that took 4 months essentially, responding to a series of demands from the TTFA that were eked out. We want this, when we gave them this, we want that, we gave them that, we want something else. And this went on for 4 months. It created and has left a bad taste, frankly, in the mouth of many, or the mouths of many of the clubs in the league. We didn't appreciate the fact that we were being put through the ringer. But in the end, we have what we wanted. All's well that ends well. It has affected, to be full and fair, it has affected our ability to generate the kind of sponsorship we were hoping to. For example, in real terms, we wanted to kick off the league on the 4th of June with what we call the League Cup, which would have been an exhibition match with some small prize money between the last National Super League champion, FC Santa Rosa, and the last Super League Cup champion, Bethel FC from Tobago. We had to squash that because the sponsors, the referees, the commissioners, they wouldn't speak to us because we hadn't been recognized. And I can't hold it against them. Right? To be fair to them, I understand the position fully. So we have had to cancel that. Now that we have that recognition, we're going to push forward, and we're going to launch on the 11th of June with a series of matches across the country. We have 12 teams in the first league, or League One as we call it. So we'll start with 6 matches, and then a couple of weeks later on the 24th of June, we're going to start with League Two, in which we will have 10 teams.
And it runs concurrently?
And they run concurrently. The League Two will play on Saturday, and League One will play on Sunday. So every weekend we will have, 11 matches.
Yeah.
Okay, so League Two and League One playing, so the people has to know what league you in actually, because it's all the same Super League.
Yes.
Trinidad and Tobago Super League.
Yes, Super League One and Super League Two.
Okay, Super League One, Super League Two.
Yes.
And now we also have the Pro League, which is another conflict in itself. But it's in a different neighborhood, no?
Yes. And Kamara could as we say, expatiate on that. But as I said at the very top, our members are drawn from communities across the country, including Tobago. The Trinidad and Tobago Super League is the only truly national league in the country, in the sense that it provides weekly competition between players or athletes and clubs from Tobago and also Trinidad. For example, in the secondary league, the Tobago boys, they play and then they come in and so on and so forth. But in the Super League, we meet on a weekly basis. So football aside, really, the Trinidad and Tobago Super League plays, we believe, a very important role in not only community integration, but also national integration.
Right.
Yeah, because as I said, we have in a 22-team league, we have 19 teams traveling to Tobago and 3 teams coming down. So there's this crisscross. We make an investment into the Tobago economy. When my club goes to Tobago, we would spend $4,000 or $5,000 on the trip. No, we're not talking about the tickets. We're talking about the transportation, the food, the whatever, refreshment. So we would spend $4,000, let's say, on average. We go there twice. That's $8,000. Multiply that by 19. So there's a financial investment side or benefit side to having the Tobago teams included in the league and operating and participating with each other on a weekly basis.
Is there any help to the clubs for financial help, like how the Pro League with the subvention, is that part of the deal here?
No. And again, I will invite Kamara to. I don't want him to just be sitting here.
Right.
Okay.
Listen. This young fellow is one of the bright new faces in football.
I understand that.
Which is why we've brought him in. Right. I always tell when we go to a meeting, I always tell them I want to be the oldest one in the room.
Right.
We need some new faces.
Right.
But no, we have no support from the state. Whereas the TT Pro League clubs, 8 of the 10 TT Pro League clubs, I understand, get $50,000 a month in some kind of subsidy. The Super League clubs get nothing. So one of the things we're doing right now, this morning, I contacted the Minister of Sports office, his personal assistant, and she asked for me to send an email. And we are asking for the state in some form or fashion, be it any combination of the Ministry of Sport and or Caribbean Airlines, to cover the cost of our teams going to and fro inter-island travel,
Right.
which over the course of the season will amount to about $450,000.
Right.
That's all we want. The TT Pro League is getting that every month.
Right.
We want it once for the year.
Right.
And we'll be happy to operate with that because it would keep Tobago in the league.
Right. Kumar, what I like about this, you have 2 divisions and teams are playing, and I know you're the one who set that up, not Keith, right? And teams are playing each other. So if I'm in the second tier,
Right.
nobody has to know I'm in the second tier. I'm competing in this Trinidad and Tobago Super League.
Right.
So it makes me just as big as anybody.
Yeah. So as Keith said, we have 10 teams in the first tier and 12 teams in the first tier and 10 in the second tier. So it's one league, but 2 divisions, and we have promotion and relegation in both divisions. But the Super League is one entity. So if in the first tier or in the second tier, we try to treat everyone as equal. Everyone has equal votes in meetings. All teams basically equal on the same page. Just you playing in a different tier, but same league. I would go back to a point where you said that the Pro League could be a conflict of interest between the Pro League and the Super League. No, because in England we have the Premier League playing at the same time as the Championship, at the same time as the League One, at the same time as League Two.
Exactly.
As Keith said, there is a big gap in football. There's a demand for another football league in the country, right? So the Pro League has 8 teams employing, let's say, about 30 youths across the nation. So that's around 240 odd players. The Super League has 22, 24 teams. So we're looking at over 800 youths still. And football, you could say, is the national sport of Trinidad and Tobago. So without the Super League, there's only Pro League, and is a huge gap. So it actually helps the youths to focus on football, basically. So they can have a organized football league to play in, something that they can look forward to. And again, there's no conflict of interest with the Pro League. It's all how you show and market your product, basically. Same football we're playing, but I would say it's 2 different products. And we would see how the season unfolds, how different the Super League is from the Pro League.
So is this setup unique enough that there is no 2 teams fighting on the same ground, kind of?
In the Super League, no. Everyone
has
their own discrete
location,
community. The only, as I understand it, and I'm sure I'm right, I hesitate to use the word conflict, but the only direct competition between Pro League and Super League in one market would be in Arima, where FC Santa Rosa has been based for 25 years as the Arima club. And now Northeast Stars have come in and are looking to establish themselves in Arima as well.
Right.
And that will have to work itself out. We have our followers.
Right.
They will have to find theirs, but we have our followers. And I don't think there is any other market in which there is direct competition between a Super League club and a Pro League club.
Right. And I know you guys have it fallen, but the Pro League now, not now, I think, the Pro League is going to try to take a page out of you guys' book. What I mean by that is they're going to try to go into the communities.
Correct.
So
that is correct. I mean, you know, Steve, you played football and I played football in a time, we were born and played football in a time when football was truly a community game. You learn the game in, you know, in the park or the square or the streets of your immediate neighborhood or your village, or you're part of the city if you were in Port of Spain, I guess. And even in Port of Spain, you had, you know, you had your stay. I mean, Coles was Belmont. Yes, as one example. And in every community, you had your league. I grew up knowing Arima Football League. I played for Arima Football League against SFA and SFL. Point Fortin Civic Center, in my view, is one of the quintessential community teams. If you're talking about a community club, you're talking about Point Fortin Civic Center,
Right.
which has transformed into Point Civic. So football is truly a community sport. Why do we think it is that even in the big leagues of the world, the clubs carry the names of a city or a part of a city? Watford, Tottenham, Barcelona,
Right.
Real Madrid,
Right.
I mean, they have grown out of communities
Right.
and to satisfy a community demand. So that football in Trinidad and Tobago, which is a really small market that is not grounded in even smaller markets, meaning the community, the village, or wherever you're from, has no future. It has no hope.
Right.
And that is where it has to return. With all due respect, perhaps the most successful club in the history of Trinidad and Tobago football is the Defense Force FC. But they have won the CONCACAF Championship. You know that. I know that. A lot of young people don't know that.
Right.
But we know this. They do not have a community beyond the community of the military. They don't have a community that will come out on an afternoon and come to the pitch and, you know, and support them like they will support the boys from the village. And this is where we have to return for football to grow and achieve its true potential. We have to go back to the future, so to speak.
You guys are the new guys in the block, so to speak, because you're in a new league. Even though you've been operating for a while, right? I want you guys to think about this question. So now, you're not in direct competition with the professional league, but you're competing around the same time, months from June to the end of the year. You have better. I know you guys have bigger supporters. I've seen Guaya. I've seen different teams. So you have to continue to push that. Now the Pro League is going to try to do the same. So when we come back, I want you guys to address that for me. How do you think that's going to work out? Viewers will be right back after this short break.
This guy and that guy, and you know, people want to know who gonna win the goal and do things like that. So it's simple marketing techniques that could help to bring a league up, and it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science.
Worldwide Safety Consultants Limited offers solutions to your immediate and future potential problem areas by providing you with a qualified team of safety consultants. Worldwide Safety Consultants Limited, building a reputation on quality and value since 1999. Located 23 Todd Street, San Fernando, Trinidad. Phone 868-657-1534 or 868-788-6955. worldwidesafety@yahoo.com.
Okay, welcome back, viewers. Keith and Kumara, before the break, I was saying that, you know, you guys are the new kids in the block in the professional arena, kind of, so to speak, but you really have more supporters and you've been in the community for a while. So how is that going to?
Well, I mean, this is a very important question because the market is very small. You well know, we all know, in global terms, the Trinidad and Tobago market is a grain of sand, right? On the beach, on the ocean side. But we have to do what we have to do. All of our clubs have some support because when you look at the names of our clubs, you immediately know where they're from. Bethel is Bethel Village, Cunopia, Santa Rosa, Siparia, etc., etc. Yes, you know where they're from. So we have to build on that, and it all comes down to marketing. We have to grow the roots that we have in the communities, one. Two, we have been trying, frankly, with not much success, but one has to do what one has to do. We have been trying to pursue a television link, because you well know that the money in modern sport is in television and broadcasting rights. And we have been talking to local people and foreign people about that. But first of all, we have to have a product that people want to see. It's all well and good for the guys to say, you know, let me go and see my partner who we grew up playing with. That's one level of support. But then we have to grow it. That alone is not enough to take football to where it should be. We need to capture the national market, and then beyond that, the regional market in international terms. So this is where we have to go, but one step at a time.
Kumar, I'll give you this question only because you're the secretary, and you have to look at things that could affect your league. You guys are a community-based team for a long time, so you guys have your followers, and you guys have good stuff going on right now. The Pro League now is trying to establish themselves, but are you scared that they pull your league down because people might not come out, because they might say, oh, another Pro League game, well, because we go to the Pro League game and we see 200 people. We go to your games and we see 2,000 plus people. So is that going to affect you, or is that going to help you? Or are you going to be helping the Pro League?
Well, as Keith said, the main thing in this first season, this first launch, is to try and establish a product.
Okay.
Right? And that is what my focus mainly on, is trying to make the Super League a product, a household name.
Right.
So when people hear about the Super League, they don't have what league is that, what is that about? They know is the football league in Trinidad and Tobago. So my personal aim is to make this league the premier league in the premier football league, not in Trinidad and Tobago, but I want to go in the entire region.
I got you.
Right? So my thing is all about trying to market this and sell this league, sell the players, sell the teams, let people identify FC Santa Rosa is a Super League team. Guaya United is a Super League team. Which team played in the Super League? What is the fixtures for this round? Who going to play who? What the table looking like? Where the game's going to be? And as Keith said, we're talking with different media partners to see how we could bring this league to the viewers. So it's in the communities, yes. Well, let's say Guaya United have to go to Tobago. Not all the players, not all the fans from Guaya will go head to Tobago. So where they could see the teams play. So I don't want to give out any of the ideas we have.
I got you.
But we have plenty marketing and communication tools that we're going to use to help bring this league to a top level.
So Keith, how you guys gonna make this unique? Because I'm telling you, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it that you have to be the Pro League, and you guys supposed to be under the Pro League.
Yes.
But in crowds and in community, you were really the top league.
Well, people will argue that, but some people will argue that, and honestly, we in a great situation, but one that is potentially dangerous as well. What do I mean? For the first time, and I keep making this point to the membership, there's no one to blame or to hold accountable but ourselves.
Right.
Before, it would have been easy for us to say, well, it's his fault, it's TTFA fault, it's Tony Harford fault, it's All Sport fault. Now we own and control the league, and we have a responsibility to ourselves. But it is a new exercise for us, for most of our clubs. So it is an opening through which we want to climb, a window, but we got to be careful we don't fall flat. We got to make a success of it. So this first season is crucial. Administratively, it is crucial. It's not just about playing football anymore. We have to run the business. So that's the first point. But as I said before, right, let's take the case of Santa Rosa and Northeast Stars in Arima. They want to come to Arima, fine. But we have our following. And we know that Arima people are waiting for the first time to see FC Santa Rosa come home, because in 25 years, and this will be our 6th year in the Super League, we have never played at home. We've played outside of Arima. Now we go into the Velodrome for the first time, and people are going to come with anticipation. When they come, they're going to, I keep telling my players, they're going to come once. They have to see something that they want to come back to see.
Right.
And that's up to us now. Each club in the league, I need to make this point for the public, and I make it for the teams. The responsibility of the TT Super League is not to make the league strong. I'll explain that. It's not to make money for the league. No. The responsibility of the TT Super League is to make the clubs strong. Is to make money for the clubs.
Right.
If the clubs grow, if the clubs get stronger, if the clubs generate finance, then the league will be stronger. Yes? So I have no interest in being in a strong league with a weak team. I want strong clubs. I want people to challenge my club for the title this year, as I know they will. I want the clubs, and it is the responsibility of the league to provide the training for the human resources being used by the clubs. Kamara could expand on this. Let me give you a concrete example. A lot of the clubs, they're village clubs, and they're coming into, national football for the first time. Mm-hmm. We have gone to the 2 universities, UTT, Trinidad and Tobago, and UB, West Indies, and we're seeking volunteers which we could attach to the clubs. Volunteers in different areas, media, event management, financial management, etc., etc. We're talking to people who are in communications, who for the club website or the club Facebook page could write a little report on the last match. Mm-hmm. Things like that, to develop the internal infrastructure of the clubs, so the clubs could be stronger, the league becomes stronger, you have a good product, people are going to come.
I can feel the energy already, and this, the only thing I'm scared for, not that you blow so big that you take all the Pro League players that want to play in the Super League. So how you handle that? Because you're talking about bigger salaries maybe, or whatever, and you don't get a subvention. So tell me, Kamara and Keith, you guys tell me how you do that.
Skid always used to tell me, the people say the Premier League is the best league in the world. Mm-hmm. But when the Premier League teams go to Champions League, it's licks. So the Premier League is the best organized, the best administrative league in the world. And that would apply to the Super League. I mean, the clubs, FC Santa Rosa might be the best team, could beat any team in Trinidad. I don't know if Keith would agree to that.
We would compete. I'm sure we would compete.
But the league itself has the potential to be the best administrative league in the world. And from that, it would branch off into the clubs too. So just how the clubs feed in to make the league a bigger league, the league could feed out to the clubs to make the clubs bigger and the league itself bigger. So it's a whole circle.
That's what I'm saying is detrimental, because now all the Pro League players started leaving the Pro League and coming to the Super League.
Because they might find, it might get better. The players themselves might be marketed better. The players in the Super League might become household names. You might see the top scorer for this for round 1, and this is a race in round 15 between this guy and that guy, and people want to know who going to win the goal and things like that. So it's simple marketing techniques that could help to bring a league up, and it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science.
But Steve, you raise an important point, eh? Mm-hmm. The issue of where a player chooses to play. Mm-hmm. The Super League is, at best, a semi-professional league, a part-time league. Players get paid, not all of them, but players get paid, but they don't make a living from playing football in the Super League. Right. But there are players in the Super League who make as much money as players in the Pro League. Right. Because we both know there are players in the Pro League who make $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 a month. There are players in the Super League who make more than that, 3 times that. Right. That is a fact. we could get into a discussion about whether that is the best use of financial resources for a Super League club. I have my own opinion, but we won't discuss that, at least not yet. But the point is that there are players who have left I have players in my club who have left the Pro League to come play in the Super League.
Right.
Why? Because it offers them a better financial balance or balance of income streams, to use the fancy term. What do I mean? They have a job in which they are paid X dollars a month. They come, they play for Santa Rosa, they get whatever it is they get, or another club, Guaya or whoever it is, and they play their football. But financially, they're better off with two income streams,
Right.
a job and the club, than playing full-time professional football for a comparatively smaller salary in the TT Pro League. So this is an important issue that you're raising. As the TT Super League grows, as the clubs tend towards financial stability and greater income, you're going to find, I'm sure, that there are players who will begin saying to themselves, I am better off playing in a Super League team than playing in a Pro League team, because it offers me more financial stability.
Right.
I can work, and I can also play a good level of football, and I can also get income from the club. What else do I want?
Right.
There's only one thing I need to add to that, that the administrators of the TTFA and the technical people at every level, they operate under the fallacy that if a player is at whatever level, junior or up into the senior, if a player is not playing in the TT Pro League, they're playing in the Super League, for example, that they're not good enough for national selection or for an eye of a national selector. And this is a fallacy. This is a fallacy. The coaches, particularly at youth level, they go look at the TT Pro League, they pick some boys, and then they forget the overwhelming majority of boys in this country
right.
who do not play in a Super League team, in a TT Pro League team, either because there isn't one close to them, or they choose to play in some other a level of football, like a Super League club. So this is my only caution, that, you know, the people who select teams need to be aware of that fact. There are players in the Super League who are good enough at least for consideration in a national senior team. I'm talking, people know me, I don't talk football whole day.
Yeah.
Let me give one example. Siparia Spurs has a player by the name of Andy London. He was the leading scorer in the league last year. He scored, I believe, 26 goals in 26 games. And let me tell you something. FC Santa Rosa won the league. In our 26 league games, we had 14 clean sheets. We gave away the least goals in the league. We played 26 games and gave away 23 goals. You know that. That's championship football. That's championship defending. My defenders told me, they said, coach, because I'm the coach, they said, that man is the hardest player that we had to play against, because he always on the move, always sniffing, always hunting. Is he being considered at least for a look in a national team? I don't think so.
And that's horrible. But because when I played, we had a guy from Tunapuna who played second-class football that played for the national team.
Exactly.
So you should. You're right. Here, what I'm scared for your league for. I'm scared that people so want to win that they start taking players and putting big salaries, and you don't have a cap on salary.
No.
So and then it kind of, your league you try to grow your league too quickly.
Well, it doesn't make sense. Personally, and from an administrative point of view, it doesn't make sense you put all your money into one player and the club itself not structured internally to run a proper
So how you control
season.
that?
Right, so we have different, we plan on doing different workshops within the league itself, and to help clubs to show them different financial,
Right.
different workshops showing how to run a manager football club administratively, financially, the operations team. So it's not just we're just gonna leave clubs out there, and when the league starts to make money, we just give clubs money and let them do what they want to. No, we want to make the clubs to use these monies to make an investment back into the clubs. So it's because this league coming now is here to stay, and we need the clubs to stay as well. And we need the clubs to run proper football, to run as proper football clubs. So we intend to do different workshops throughout this season to educate different club officials on how to properly invest in the league, invest in the club, invest in the youth, invest in the administrative structure, proper running of football clubs. So, and with that, you would see you don't need to pay a player X amount of money, and then when 2 years come and you don't win anything, you have to drop out the league because you waste all your money on one player. So it's bad football business to begin with.
So you educate them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you educate them, but they have the guy who is the stubborn one,
Yes.
the Keith Luke Lloyd, eh?
Yes.
And he says, I want it in, I have money, I am so-and-so, and I want to spend
You
it.
see, Steve, this is why you are the host of the show, and I'm not flattering you. You're raising important issues, important questions. The TT Super League has no responsibility to ensure the survival of any club.
Right.
I believe in Darwinism. The strong survive. That's the reality of life. And the strong go forward, the weak fall by the wayside. In society, we have to take care of the weak, but in football, no. Everybody got to have a responsibility to themselves. So what is the league going to do? We have to educate people. We have to educate coaches. We have to educate physios. We have to educate club administrators. How do you structure your club? How you do your budget? How you account for it? Etc., etc. Financial accountability, transparency, all of that. But at the end of the day, each administration will have to make its own investment plan and have its own priorities. We have examples now of teams last year in the 2016 National Super League that were paying players multiple thousands of dollars, more than in the TT Pro League, and can't pay the registration fee for this season.
Right.
Bad priorities, and therefore, if you have money and you waste it and fall by the wayside, as in life, you will fall not only by the wayside, you will fall by the football wayside. Yes? So people have to understand the issue of long-term investment. Let me make it more concrete. When FC Santa Rosa won the league last year, the media and other people said, so they asked me, is FC Santa Rosa now going to the TT Pro League? I said, no, we're not doing that. In the first place, it costs $400,000 to register, just to say I'm in the league. And we in our club, in my club, we do not believe this is a sound for us, that this is a sound financial investment. What we rather do, because, and I'll be frank, our club is a club that has grown from selling tulum and selling ice cream, right? And having cake sales. And we have grown from that to Super League champion. I'm not boasting, I'm saying it can be done. But you have to manage your business properly and choose your investment priorities. If the time comes when $400,000 in the Santa Rosa scheme of things is small money, we could do that. But until then, that is a mountain of money that we, if we had it and we don't, we have to choose how to spend it. And it wouldn't just to be to say we register in a league, in a new league. No, we have to spread that because we have to ensure the development of our players, which means we have to ensure the development of our coaches, and which means we have to ensure that we run a proper administration that does not run in debt. I am deathly afraid of the word debt.
Yeah, Keith, let's take a break. And when we come back, I want you to pick it up because I've got another question for you and Kamara. We'll be right back after this break.
Even in these times, the corporate entities out there, whether they be state-owned, private, or whatever, no matter how big or small, every Super League club could needs assistance.
Worldwide Safety Consultants Limited offers solutions to your immediate and future potential problem areas by providing you with a qualified team of safety consultants. Worldwide Safety Consultants Limited, building a reputation on quality and value since 1999. Located 23 Todd Street, San Fernando, Trinidad. Phone 868-657-1534 or 868-788-6955. worldwidesafety@yahoo.com.
Okay, viewers, welcome back. Keith and Kamara, before the break, we were talking about your league getting out of control. And again, like I said, I have a question or a problem with you not having a cap because somebody might blow your cap off of your pressure cooker off of the stove.
Go ahead.
How you
Take a shot at it.
Yeah, well, so the MLS has cap and they also have designated players. So if we are to introduce something like that, I think that would be the best model. So you have a cap on a lot of players, and then you have like 3 designated players where you could pay them X amount. So it's something we could discuss, but now we haven't discussed it yet. But it's something we could consider for the future, and it makes sense basically because, as we said, we want the clubs to understand long-term investment. That is not. It's not a league that's going to stay just for 5 years. Your club is not going to be here for 5 years. It's something to pass on, basically. When you pass away and go on, your club still has to be standing. We can't have one owner, per se, the main financer for the club. No, the club has to reach a stage where it could finance itself and don't need one owner to put in monies every year. So that's the goal we're looking at. That's the objective we want to see clubs reach in the future.
And I can tell you're a bright boy from UE. Keith was a bright boy from Howard. So I know you birds of a feather flock together. So Keith, let's talk about your financial model.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but just before that again, you played in the old NASL.
Mm-hmm.
And we know the kind of salaries that some of the clubs paid in that league. Mm-hmm. I remember going to see when they had the bicentennial tournament. This is an aside for your viewers. When they had the bicentennial tournament for the 200th anniversary of the United States, and Brazil came to play, and they picked an NASL All-Star team and so on. Pele was playing with the New York Cosmos. Steve Davis was playing with Miami Toros still at that time. And they were both on the team. And Pele, I went to RFK Stadium in Washington to see the NASL play Brazil. Pele played, had little impact, and then Steve Davis came off the bench and had tremendous impact. So I've always admired him. But the point I want to make is that he knows the North American scene. The MLS lost money for 15 years. They lost money for 15 years. And now they have begun to turn the corner. Where a franchise cost $10 million 15 years ago, it now costs $150 million. Yep. Because of prudent management. They took losses, but they had the priorities and they massaged the thing into now what a very, very profitable, or at least profitable enterprise is. This is what we have to do. The purpose of our league is not to make the league rich. The purpose of our league is to make the clubs financially stable. And we have a profit share. When we get to the point where we generate profit, we have a profit sharing principle or agreement according to which will guide the division of said profit. My philosophy of life and football is that anybody who contributes must benefit. We have a League Cup to be played this year. We have closed a sponsor for that, which we'll talk more about later, because I have to get that in writing, or we have to get that in writing, but we have an agreement that with a sponsor, that a sponsor will provide X dollars for it. Everybody's going to share in that, because the team that gets knocked out in the first round and the eventual winner, they all contribute to the tournament. There's no winner take all, or the winner getting 80% more than the loser, because I believe in equity in life. So that's one of the ways we're going to do it. Prize monies are going to be shared, and of course, like in real life, the more you contribute, the more you get.
Right.
So that's the first thing. But when we get to the point where we generate real profit, we have an agreement where that first principle will apply. In the standings, the more you, the higher up the standings you go, the more you earn. That's one point. Then for 50%, 50% of the profit. And then of the remaining 50%, the league takes 25% for reinvestment.
Right.
And the remaining 25% is distributed to the top teams in the league.
Right.
So everybody has an incentive to make the league strong. Everybody has an incentive to fight for the place in the sun, and everybody has a certain guarantee that they're going to get some income, some percentage of the income that is generated by the league. And the league itself knows that it will have money to continue next season. So the key thing is to try to establish good financial management and good administration. You know it. From that, football could flow. Because no matter how good the players are, if there's not good financial management and good administration, then all you have is talent, nothing else.
Kumar, what do you think about two teams from Tier 2, two teams from Tier 1, and two teams from the Super League, and you have like a champion of champions running? What do you think about that?
That's not a bad idea. So, meeting with TTFA last Wednesday, they told us that they're looking to reintroduce the FA, the FA Cup. So you would see zone football, Super League, and Pro League football coming together. In future, and I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking for the majority of Trinidad and Tobago, they would like to see one structured football league in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
One smooth flow from the top league, second division, third division, back in zone football. And that is, I think that is the ultimate, and that should be the ultimate goal for all football administrators in Trinidad and Tobago. Because it makes no sense different leagues fighting for the same resources.
But if you the top league, you not in position, you're not the top, but in play and in structure and in everything else, administration, you the top. You don't want to sit and let have somebody else stifling you. You want to grow.
Right. Yes.
You can pass them. So then, what do you do?
Let me interject. Right. We all agree that there must be a relationship of promotion and relegation between regional football and the top league, whatever name is called. I have long held that what we need in Trinidad and Tobago, by whatever name it comes or is called, we need a national league. One structure that will take us through right now we have 3 national leagues. Right. Or if we want to call them that. The TT Pro League, which is not national in the sense that there's no Tobago member. And you have 2 national divisions of the Super League, which do have Tobago members. But there's no promotion between the Super League and the Pro League. Exactly. Right? Because of the requirements of the Pro League. We need to do away with that. Right. We need to have easier requirements that are technical in nature. What do I mean by technical? Football on the pitch. Right. There are teams in the Super League that could hold their own in the Pro League, but the barrier is the $400,000 registration fee, and then the requirement that the players be paid full time. Right. You and I played in a time where we didn't have that, but you had strong national football, and everybody did their own thing. Right. Tesoro Palo Seco, an oil company, a strong team. They gave jobs. Right. Yes. I grew up in the time of Safi, as I knew, the textile mill in Arima. They gave jobs, but they played national football. So I think we need to have a national league in which if Steve David United wants to pay people full-time to play, that's their business. Yeah. If Lukla United wants to give people work, that's their business. Right. If David United, I'm in between 2 Davids, if David United or David FC, since we have David United already, wants to have people work and pay them a stipend every month, that's fine, but we're all in the same league, and then everybody fight for their place in the sun. And I think that is the direction in which we need to go. But the artificial requirement that everybody must be full-time, even when they're receiving $2,000 a month, as many players, and $3,000 a month, as many players are, that is an artificial requirement, and it is not truly professional. Right. We need to have everybody find their own financial formula and let technical standards determine who is in the first league, who is in the second league, who is in the third league, and who is in regional football. Right. And is there any plans for these two to... Well, not that I know official plans, but I'll say it here. I made a suggestion, I don't know, 3 months ago, after we played the last match, Mexico, I made a private suggestion to Brent Sancho, who is a Pro League man, TT Pro League man, that it is very easy to solve this, you know. That we say, okay, if in principle the TT Pro League is the top tier of local football, then we say, okay, and they have 10 teams, then we say, okay, for the sake of argument, the numbers could change. The top 4 teams from the TT Pro League, you are exempt. You are in the top tier of local football. The next 6, you will play against the top 6 from the Super League. Let's have a playoff, 12 teams, and let the best 6 of those 12 join those top 4. We could find the formula, but it's a matter of the political will to do it.
Right.
It is a matter of people coming off turf and deciding that we want to do what is best for local football. Yeah, and as I say, let the technical standards guide, let the best teams be there. I am convinced that my own club, I'm not saying we could beat Central, which is 3-time champion of Trinidad and Tobago football, but I think my club could compete with any club in the TT Pro League.
Right.
Let the players on the field decide that.
Right.
Let the players on the field decide that, and let the best play with the best.
All right, we got a few minutes left. Any players out there that we can look forward to seeing in your league? You talk about a guy from
Siparia, Andy London, is a born goal scorer, right? Born goal scorer. The second top goal scorer in the league last year was a boy from my club. I'm showing my age. A young man from my club, Rashad Griffith. He had, 20? He was second leading scorer, 21 goals. He is now with Miami FC. He comes back at the end of the month, to May, to pick it up with us on June the 11th. He returns from Miami FC. We have Ryan Stewart. Last year he was with Maracas FC. I don't know where he'll be playing this season. He is always good, eye-catching player. I don't want to talk about my players, but the MVP of the league last year, Derwin Ross, he was the MVP of the league. He returns to play with us this year. But in a sense, the names are not important. What we're going to do is we're going to put pressure on you and ask TV to expose these players. And as we go along, we're going to be asking you for the opportunity to bring players to talk to you so the public could hear not administrators but players talk.
Right.
And get to know the players. That's what people know my name. I don't need to be on TV, but they need to see some players. Right, so we're going to be asking you to do that.
And we will. And anytime, Kumar yourself, bring the players down, call us.
Definitely.
And we will expose them. All right? Okay, I'll give you 1 minute, Kumar, to give me some parting words before we give Keith to take us to the show. We got 2 minutes.
Well, June 11 kickoff. Expect great things from this league for the first season.
Okay.
Expect a properly structured league. Expect good football, good community football, and I would love, like our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, Trinidad and Tobago Super League, where you find all updates, all highlights and everything, and anything coming up soon and stuff. We have plenty promotions, plenty giveaways, all those different things to do throughout the season. So make sure and get on board with the Trinidad and Tobago Super League and stay tuned for great things in Trinidad and Tobago football.
Your turn, Keith. Your minute, son.
I would like to. The supporters are there. They know the Super League. Everybody will come to support the club. I'm appealing to, even in these times, the corporate entities out there, whether they be state-owned, private, or whatever, no matter how big or small, every Super League club could needs assistance and could use some financial assistance. I don't care if you own a parlor or a conglomerate. The Super League clubs, in a serious way, hold communities together and contribute to community integration. We play an important role. That is the social side, and then, of course, there's the football. So we need your help. And we're in 22 communities across the country. If somebody comes to you, don't just say hard times, because we can all contribute. No matter how little we can contribute. Yes, there must be accountability, but and demand it if you contribute to a Super League club, but please contribute and help us to grow this game that so many children across this country play.
Okay, viewers, the Super League is in your neighborhood. Come out and see them. Thank you for letting us into your home. Okay, viewers, we've come to the end of another edition of Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David. Thank you for letting us into your homes and bringing the show to you. Thank Axe Television Network for giving us the opportunity. I'll see you next Monday night. Good night.